Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday, excluding Fridays. Hope everyone's having a good day. Market's kind of pretty chill today. Not surprising to see some more green in the market. I think what I'd like to do is kind of take a look at some of the major alts. Looks like ADA is popping off, Ethereum's popping off, Solana's popping off. So we can take a look at a few of those charts. But today is, JK, welcome in. Today is TA Q&A. So drop your TA questions in the comments. This live stream will be as long or as short as you would like it to be. So I'm going to wait for everyone to begin dropping their TA questions into the comments, and we're going to be going rapid fire here based on how many questions we're getting. Track, welcome in. Very nice to see you. Of course, we can take a look at Matic. Let's take a look, kick things off as some comments are coming in here on TA questions. Let's start off with Ethereum and see how Ethereum's looking, because it's getting a nice pop today. You know, you guys, this is a 2-week on Ethereum. You guys have to keep in mind, and I'm pretty sure I've shared this before, once you start to see Ethereum clear all-time highs, it's going to instill a lot of confidence within the altcoin market, and it's going to lead to some really large movements within the altcoin space if history is any indicator of from what we've seen in the past. This is a 2-week chart here. Looks like we're about to get a cross up on the MACD as long as we can sustain price action over these next 2 weeks. Man, I got a really bad kink in my neck. And, really bad kink in my neck. And the stochastic RSI is well above 20, which is good to see. Relative strength index still has some work to do. Let's take a look at the weekly here. Yeah, we're looking good. You can see right now on this MACD, we're just beginning to get a cross up here. Last time we saw a cross up was back in October of 2023. And that's when we went on our run from about 1900 up to 4100. Currently, we're sitting at 2800. Guys, I think, again, if history is any, all we can use is this historical data to try to make inferences about the future. I'm not suggesting that history is going to look exactly the same, but until proven otherwise, it's going to rhyme, okay? So if history is any indicator in terms of what sort of rhyming scheme we could see moving forward, Ethereum is going to be up at $5,000 in nearly the blink of an eye. It's going to have a strong move. It's going to leave everyone behind who has been saying it's a dead chain. And keep in mind, because the market cap of Ethereum is so large. Let's take a quick look at that. We'll use CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. If we go to CoinMarketCap, we can see Ethereum here has a $346 billion market cap. Once we start to get up to $5,000, you're talking over a $600 billion market cap. Once you get up to a $600 billion market cap, the natural thought process is, when are we going to hit $1 trillion? Okay, so and for those people who are saying Solana is going to flip Ethereum, Solana has a lot of work to do if it's going to flip Ethereum. I don't see it happening next year. Anything's possible, but I don't see it happening. Once Ethereum moves, man, it's gonna carry the rest of the market with us. So Ethereum looks beautiful. What I really want to see, this should be resistance. What I really want to see is, I want to see us start to get back up above $3,000, that psychological level, and then we can start having a conversation. But things are starting to heat up here, guys. And keep in mind, I've been saying this for months, and I know it's been sort of at different points. It's been dreadful to hear. It's been something that's kind of gone in one ear and out the other for some of you, perhaps. But when this market moves, it moves. It does not tap you on the shoulder, and that's why it's very important to be diligent and patient during those times when it's wise to be accumulating. We don't know exactly when the fireworks are going to start. There's signs that things could start at some point shortly, But we don't know exactly when it's going to start. And that's why, if you know what you're doing, at the times when it seems least intelligent to be buying, probably a good time to be buying. Most people are not accumulating at those levels. And right now, this is actually sort of the easy part for us. We can sit on our hands right now. We don't have to do anything, all right? We've accumulated what we've accumulated, and we're going to ride this bad boy up. The harder part's going to come once we start getting into new all-time highs here. Where are you going to start selling? That's really the question that you have to answer for yourself. Let's see the questions that are in the... J. Kim is always worried about Caspa. Track, can we take a look at Matic? Absolutely. Woo! This thing is in a downtrend. I think it's all the way down 33. Wow, this thing was nearly a top 10 at one point, and now it's all the way down here. I had a different chart on here. Really? Okay, well, I thought I had it. Well, I mean, we have a clean chart here, so we're just going to work with it. This is the weekly on Matic. CBG talking in third person thought he had a different chart, but clearly does not have that chart. We are so well below the 250 on the weekly. The other thing this gives you an appreciation for is how early this asset is. Look how early the 200 simple moving average is. I don't know, for some reason this meteoric rise reminds me of XRP. Not that anyone holding this, I want to give you XRP vibes. That would not be good. But this is no good. This is no good. Of course, actually, what we could do, we have a descending resistance here. We're going to take off. I honestly don't think it adds a lot of value. We could put on maybe the 20 simple moving average. No. Let's just take a look at price confluence. So areas of resistance. Well, we wicked down here back in 2022 and we broke below it. This is going to be a main area for us to get back above. This 38 cent to, wow, I honestly can't believe we're this low on Matic. I'll be straight with you. Recapturing these red lines here as support is going to be very important for the chart. I mean, look at the downtrend we're in right now. Right? Look at this. There's no falling wedge. This is just a down, a bearish channel to the downside. Okay. Do we see any bullish divergence coming in as price is going down? Now, one of the nice things I like to see, notice how I knew to look for this right away. You do see on the weekly chart, and it's more significant when you see bullish divergence on higher time frame charts. This is a weekly chart. I guarantee you if we go to the 3-day, we'll see it even more evident. But you can see that the relative strength index is generally increasing. Okay, we're increasing as the price has been moving down. That's encouraging to see. Signs that we could be bottoming. Yeah, and it's even more evident here. I mean, draw it a little bit differently, but it's all the same. So the RSI is increasing as price has been going down. Sort of a indicator to us that we could expect some sort of at least a short-term relief, if not a sustained movement up, given the rest of where the rest of the market's at. A lot of areas of resistance here. A lot of areas of resistance that we're going to have to start breaking back above. I'm not going to get too cute here, track. Let's just keep it to there. These are the main areas I would indicate at the moment. We got 32 cents, 38 cents, 50 cents, and 55. Not really interested in talking about this chart until we can start to reclaim the 55 cent area. The other thing that was scary, quite frankly, about, you can see when we came down to this wick here, the dangerous thing is that, and we've hit on this concept quite often on this channel about parabolas, you can see that there's a wick here and a little bit of confluence here. Had we broken definitively below this line, very, very dangerous given this parabola. Remember, it's a tree with no tree branches. There was the risk that we could fall all the way down here towards 1 to 2 cents. Now, I've seen way too much in this market to know, as unbelievable as that sounds, Polygon Matic going to 1 to 2 cents. That seems completely impossible. It's not. It's not. And so it's good to see it bouncing at this level, because there's not a lot. Once you start losing this level right there, what is that? 31 cents, 31, 32 cents. You are really flirting with death there. So we need to continue pushing up. We need to continue pushing up. So, yeah, that is what I see on the chart. What else we got? What else we got? Can we also take a look at Bitcoin dominance? We could take a, guys, we could take a look at Caspa, but I put out a very elaborate thread on X. In fact, let's just look at Caspa now. There's nothing to update you on. I think part of the question on Caspa, if you've been paying attention to my content and you know what I've put out, I think you're hoping for something. You're hoping for something and you're asking the question. All the technical analysis that my view on Caspa is literally out there, and I've spent time talking about it. I don't want to spend the live stream talking about my number one altcoin holding that I have spent a tremendous amount of time talking about on this channel. We're not going to waste time doing that. And that would go for any asset. If I put an elaborate analysis together on Solana and people are coming in here asking me what my opinion on Solana is, guys, I just spent all this time. Look, nothing has changed. This area has to hold. We need to bounce. We need to break descending resistance. Bitcoin pairing, Solana pairing is literally at the bottom range. We don't want to see it break below. I have nothing else to add. We're right at the bottom. So we're either going to bounce, very shortly, or we're going to roll over. We'll have to be patient and see. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin's market cap is catching up to silver. Very nice. Very nice. Guys, make sure to drop your TA questions into the comments, else I don't know what you want me to chart. And like I said at the start of the live stream, today is TA Q&A. The live stream, the length of it, will be dictated based on the comments. If it's very low engagement and no one's asking questions, I'm going to be out of here in 5 minutes. If you guys have questions, we're going to continue rolling 30, 40 minutes here. Bitcoin dominance, rising wedge. We've spent a whole host of time talking about this. I think it's a good question to ask at this point, what we're seeing in the chart, because we have seen some strength in some. What you want to see, the first signs to get this to break down, without even looking at this chart, when I pull up this list, when I see Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin substantially, Solana outperforming Bitcoin substantially, I know as soon as I flip to the Bitcoin dominance chart, I can anticipate some sort of a downward reactionary action on the price, because those are larger market caps altcoins that are outperforming Bitcoin, right? So it's going to have a substantial impact on Bitcoin dominance. So right now we're still in the rising wedge here. There really isn't anything to report. You know, if you really want to put it on a daily here, you can see we're getting rejected right at the top of this upward sloping line. So again, for me, the first sign coming down here, breaking this line. Okay, now we need to be on high guard. But for me, I've told you guys, 53. 53 is the area I really want to see break. I think once 53 breaks, that's where you're going to be seeing, right around that area is where you're going to be seeing a substantial amount of outperformance within the altcoin market. Great question. You know, Trax, since you brought this up, I need to take a look. Silver market cap. 1.76 trillion. 1.5 trillion. Good catch, Track. I might do a post about that, or post something about that. If you guys want to know how early you are, how early you still are, Litecoin, which is supposed to be the silver to Bitcoin, has a market cap of 5.4 trillion. Caspa currently only has a market cap of 2.9 billion. So we're quite early. We'll just say that. What other questions we got? Sui. You know what's comical, Jake, about Sui? I was thinking about this. Follow my logic here. A lot of the meme coins, a lot of these cults that are being formed in these meme coins, they came about due to greedy VC venture capitalists, right? And so you would think in the industry there would be some sort of a negative backlash towards VC-backed coins, right? And people would be more interested in a fairly launched proof of work project like Caspa. Clearly, at the moment, that is not the case. Sui, which has an unlimited supply and a VC-backed coin, is ranked number 16. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out, but it's very interesting to say the least. So right now, this chart looks very good. Very, very, very good. No way around it. This is a 3-day chart. We can change these right areas of resistance into support once we get this candle body closing above, and then our confirming candle body closing above this area right around 218. Okay. Now this is the area I said if I was looking to, and I'm not familiar with the unlocks on Sui. Thank you for sharing that. But that is a risk when you hold these coins. I just find it comical that we have these cult meme coin social tokens. Okay. People have gotten sick of the venture capitalists, yet there's a VC token pumping, and people aren't paying attention to sort of the elephant in the room, which is the technological advancement of a fairly launched proof of work project. We will see how next year unfolds. Anyway, we are starting to break above this area. The key here is once we start breaking above, the good news to anyone holding this asset, Sui, ticker symbol SUI, we're in price discovery. And I got to tell you, you can say whatever you want about the fundamentals and it being a VC-backed coin, but right now, it's had a hell of a run. It's up at rank 16. It's got a $6.5 million market cap, and it's making a strong case to start climbing towards the top 10. There's really no analysis that I can provide to tell you how. I mean, we could take a look at fib extensions, but let's just let price do what price is going to do. We actually peaked above it, but once we start to break this region, it's really anyone's educated guess just how high this thing could go. We'll have to wait to see. Although I will say we're close to the $3 psychological level, so I'd be shocked if once we don't start to break above 235, we get at or close to $3. What's up, Donkey? Anybody else have any questions? We are 18 minutes into the live stream, and I do not see any other TA questions. Like I said, this live stream is going to be as short or as long as you would like. I think one or two other altcoins I did want to take a look at with you real quick. Solana's seeing some good price action. I know I've gotten some questions on ADA. Maybe we can take a quick look at that. Solana's starting to break out of this month-long bull flag that it's been in, which is obviously very bullish. Price action on this thing looks phenomenal. Look at the weekly, man. You got the MACD picking up. The RSI looks great at 62 in the stochastic RSI. Anyone fading this would be silly. You know, anything when you get these chains that are performing really well, you have to consider the tokens that are supported on that ecosystem. So I told you guys I've been in Orca for a trade now for quite a bit. I was looking at it on the 12-hour, but if we go back to a weekly for a moment, this thing is starting to break out of this downward resistance here. You can see what my targets are, and we hit my initial target range between 350 and 433, but I see this thing going significantly higher. I'm waiting for the RSI to start to clear above 62 on the weekly, but right now, I mean, it's looking pretty sexy over the next couple of weeks. I would anticipate for anyone taking a look at this asset for a trade. Again, my average entry is around $2. When I trade, I'm not getting into things to day trade them. I have typically longer term swing trade plays. My average price was around $2. Okay, I'm already up over 50%, which is great for me. That's great for me, right? I don't need 20x returns on all my assets. So I'm up 50%. But over the coming couple weeks, I'm fully expecting us to get somewhere into this range, definitively, between 350 and 577. So you're talking about a 2 to 3x, which is great. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But take a look at those layer ones that are really strong performing assets. The tokens that are on top of that asset, okay, and supported by that network are going to be ones that are performing very well as well. So just keep that in mind. That goes for meme coins as well. Okay. Once momentum begins to pick up in Ethereum, you're going to see a lot of meme coins that are supported by Ethereum, like a Wojak. You're going to see it vastly outperform Ethereum and do very well. Okay, got a question. Question. SWCH. Not a lot of price data, my friend. Not a lot of price data. We'll do a very quick analysis on this and kind of move on because there's not a lot here. Look, there's a range here. We're not gonna get too cute with the chart. Yeah, there's not a lot of price data here. I don't like this chart at all. I'm going to be honest with you, Donkey. Like, we've looked at better charts on this channel, far better charts. I don't like this chart at all. There's your areas of resistance. Can you tell based on my comments you should have picked a better chart? There's just not a lot of price data. I can't really add a lot of value to something that doesn't have a lot of data, right? So what am I supposed to do? Just make something up and... There are your areas of support, and there are your areas of resistance. I don't have anything else to add to this chart. Yeah, way too early. What else we got? Say. KR has a question on Say. I was actually looking at that for a potential trade the other day. Well, not the other day. By other day, I meant a week ago. Clearly haven't updated this chart. This chart's looking pretty decent. Hence why I was considering doing a trade. Now, these green lines are all areas of resistance. Obviously, I haven't charted this in quite some time, seriously. Do I have a Say chart? I do. Yeah, what the hell is going on here? There we go. Thought I had a Say chart. So you can see we're breaking out of downward resistance. This is Say on the weekly on Coinbase's exchange. Broke out of this downward resistance. I mean, the consolidation was beautiful. This range right... Oh. Jesus. This range right here became our area to bounce off of, which was beautiful. Love to see market structure. And now we just need to start to definitively break above 50. You can see I got 50 cents, 69, and then 97. 97 is right up at $1. So once you start to clear $1, you got a blue sky breakout. Who the hell knows how high this thing's going to go? But it looks great. Got higher highs and higher lows coming in. What do you mean higher highs? This high here and this high here. This low here and this low here. So looking good. We go down to the price indicators. MACD looks good. RSI looks decent. What are we in the 50s? Yep, 51. Stochastic RSI looks fine. So this thing looks like it's setting up for a nice potential bounce right up into this 50 to 69 cent area. Pepe. Haven't charted Pepe in a little bit. I think this chart got fucked up because something happened. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, cool. So Pepe, I had posted a chart out on X recently. If you're not following me, by the way, I don't know anyone here on YouTube that's not following me on X, but it's one word. It's Crypto Bull God if you want to follow some TA analysis. Look, anyone that's holding Pepe, I think, is going to be largely rewarded soon. You can see we're in this sort of pennant formation, a break up. We're in this pennant formation. This is on the weekly. We're looking to break this area of resistance. When can you start to really celebrate on Pepe? For me, once we start to definitively clear this red line here, I think once you start to see price up in this area here, that's when I think it's very shortly going to break this area of resistance, and we're going to be in new all-time high territory. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a move up of about 40% before you start to get real excited. Now, 40% might sound like a lot. It's really not. In this market, even for a mid-cap like Pepe, 40% can happen in one day, okay? So chart looks great. I like the technicals. This is a beautiful setup. Maple. Haven't charted this one in a while. Familiar with it. I believe it's in that lending space. This one's available on Coinbase. Oh, yeah, you can see I definitely haven't charted this one in a while. Let's go to the weekly. Don't know what I was doing there. Whoop. Is anyone else here in Maple besides, I'm sure, the person who asked the question? Jake. Anyone else besides Jake in this? Jake. I actually work with a Jake. Why is this red? So technically this would still be red because we need a confirming candlestick. This chart, I will tell you, I like this. And I like this. It definitely looks like we're getting a nice breakout. The other thing that I'm seeing here is a nice, I've spoken to this on a lot of different charts. One of the things you will find if you tune in regularly is we will find a lot of commonality in a lot of these charts. And the reason for that is because human emotion plays out in a very similar fashion within a lot of these charts. This is a nice rounding bottom, wouldn't you agree? So to me, this looks like a beautiful trade setup that you're looking for price to come all the way up somewhere into this region before getting probably rejected. It doesn't need to, but probably. You have some sort of maybe a sharp pullback and then a very strong movement up, right? Maybe you move up to the $60 range, you pull back to the $40 range, and then you start creating new all-time highs. This thing looks great. I really like the setup here. MACD looks beautiful. RSI, what are we up to? Are we in the 60s? Where are we at? 69. We're almost at 70. Now, a lot of these assets, one of the other things you will pick up on the more you study the market is once that relative strength index on a weekly, as long as there's enough price data, once we start to get at and above 70, a lot of significant bullish price action really begins to pick up. A lot of people misinterpret what it means. A 70 RSI reading does mean overheated, right? We're very bullish, we're overheated. It doesn't mean, however, price has to pull back right away. It could run for several weeks before it begins to pull back, okay? So just keep that in mind. But this chart looks beautiful. Jake from State Farm. Nice. All right, now I have more questions coming in than I know what to do with. First, we started with no questions. Now we're getting a lot of questions. This is nice. That's a beautiful comment. I had 54,000 in DOT down to, well, I think you had $540,000 in DOT. Jesus Christ, you had $500,000 in DOT. Now it's down to $100,000. I sold it today. Oh. Well, I don't know if that was a smart decision or not, but sometimes you got to cut your losses. I'm really sorry to hear that. Wormhole. Let's check it out. Ticker symbol W. Trying to go through these rapid fire because now everyone and their mother is asking questions. So we are going to try to expedite the reviews here. Wormhole on Binance. Not a lot of price data here. This one's I'm gonna keep this one really short and sweet. We have some downward resistance we need to break above. Okay, you can see that clearly. Touch. Okay, 4 touches are shown. We have an area of support here. Okay, we don't want to break below this area. As long as we hold this area, I'm good. If we start to break below 16 cents, I can't, much like another chart that I said I wouldn't mention ever again, if we start to break below 16 cents, I can't tell you how low this thing's going to go. It could bottom out at 13. It could go all the way down to a penny. So we want to hold 16 cents. And then what we want to do is start to break downward resistance and clear this area right here of 45 cents. Then let's start to clear around 76 cents, and then we can have a conversation. So looks like it's coiling up for a potential other move. The other thing to keep in mind is you could also draw this. You have an ascending line here. You would love to see hold. You know, it's entirely possible we kind of ping-pong in here a bit before we start to break up. What else do we have? What else do we have? Okay, KR, I have charted a bunch of things that you've asked for. Definitely not going to chart all of those. That's way too many. Let's see who else has any questions. DCF, thank you very much. Yes, please, everyone, hit the thumbs up button. Have a good one, KR. Where the hell? Hey, before you sign off, if you haven't, where are you located at? You said night, so I'm assuming you're going to bed. Let's take a look at Cardano. Is anybody here in Cardano? And the reason we're looking at Cardano is because it's up like 11% today. It was just a matter of time. Hey, before we look at Cardano, I told you guys, if this chart holds up, this is telling you Cardano is going to outperform XRP. We've bottomed. We most likely have bottomed against XRP. This is the ADA to XRP relativity chart. And this is telling you if we reach anywhere up towards this top area, ADA should outperform XRP by around 350%. So we'll have to see if that happens. Again, I'm not telling you what I want to see happen in the market. I'm just using the charts to make some sort of inference about what's going on. Hey, all right, apologize. What the hell? All right. Now, here what I was clearly attempting to display on Cardano is even though price has been lackluster, we have higher high. We have a high here. It's not a double bottom. We have higher low coming in. We need to take out 80 cents. So really, I mean, we're seeing nice price action today, but I'll be honest with you, if you're holding Cardano, which no one here has commented there. Oh no, Track, you're in Cardano. Okay. Track, there's nothing exciting here. There's honestly nothing exciting. Yeah, we're up, 10% or something. 9%, whatever. But, I mean, look what we've been doing for the past several months, because this is a weekly chart. We're just ping-ponging in here. Price isn't going to get interesting until we definitively break above 40, and then really interesting once we start breaking above like 80 cents, which was this prior swing high. Oxford. You're in the UK. Very nice. Very, very nice. I like hearing about people who tune into the live stream from all over the country. It's pretty cool. DCF, I figured you would have known because I feel like you're on here. The chart that I refuse to talk about is absolutely not a chart that burned me. It was actually a chart that I was well ahead of, and anyone in my community here who's been following me the past several months, I gave warning after warning after warning, and it completely collapsed, just like I said that it had a high probability to. Because we used it, we basically used that token as a case study, I guess you could say, of do's and don'ts in the market. And I've spoken about it enough. The token looks completely dead. So I just said I would stop bringing it up. But I definitely did not get burned. I got out of it when market structure broke, thankfully. Yeah. How's the RSI on Cardano? I would guess it's probably in the 40 range. Oh, it's at 50, 51. Kind of neutral. I'm not saying that's Solana meme. You're not going to get me to say tits. It's up over 130% the last 2 days. Yeah, guys. The poor little ghost. Yeah, I used to watch. You guys know how old I am. Actually, I mean, every time I pull up crypto Twitter, it shows my full date of birth. I grew up watching Casper the Friendly Ghost in the 80s. I mean, they had reruns going in the 90s and the 80s. I used to watch that. Christ, it's so scary to think like how fast 30 years have gone. If we pull up meme coins here, they're kind of all over the board. But this list here, there are going to be days I come out and we live stream, and most of this list is up 40% plus. There is going to be so much hype going into these meme coins, okay? What we need to do is just make sure that we're being realistic and we know when to identify good opportunities to just begin selling out. I want to reiterate this message to everyone here, no matter what token you hold. Your success in this market, and I'm defining success by physically walking away with money, with currency, with actual financial gains from your investments. That's success in this market, okay? Your success will be heavily dictated by a couple different things, and I'll keep it real stupid simple. Your success in this market to financially prosper will be based on, one, remaining unemotional. You owe no community. You owe no token. Your ultimate undying love and support. When it's smart to sell, sell. If you should have been swapping out of something because it exhibited, look, I got out of Alethea AI. The fucking token started falling apart. I was like, I can put my money elsewhere and make money. And it was a wise choice. I think it's still under a penny. Is it under a penny? I mean, I think completely... Again, another example of another VC-backed shitcoin. If you look at this, Alethea AI. You know what? I haven't even charted this thing in a while. I'll give you a great example. You have to know when to walk away. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. All right? Great song. Look at this thing. It's a horrible looking chart. This is actually a double bottom. So who knows? I mean, you could get some sort of a sharp rise in price here up to this level. You could get a 6x, 7x, 8x, but the whole chart fell apart. Investment thesis fell apart, so got out of it. But so number one, your success will to financially prosper will be remaining objective and unemotional. Two is putting in the time and work to study the charts. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. How the hell do you expect to succeed if you're not planning to succeed, right? Number three is having a game plan in place now. You should have made a game plan a while ago, but you should have a game plan today you feel convicted on, and that's how you're going to sell out, and you're not changing, you're not deviating from that. You have a strategy, that's a strategy you're going to use. And the last thing I would say, which is so important, you are not going to be able to pick a top. Your success in this market by financially prospering is not going to be dependent on your ability to say Bitcoin is topping at $128,000 or $150,000. I'm going to sell all my Bitcoin at $128,000. No. Your goal is to scale out, recognizing you're not going to pick a top, but you're going to sell at logical levels. Maybe your average exit price on Bitcoin is $110,000 and it tops out at $128,000. You missed the top by 16%. Who the fuck cares? Your average exit was $110,000. It topped out at $128,000. That is a big win in my book. A big win in my book. Especially when you consider the fact that no matter what the conversation will be at that time, it'll be very unrealistic. Bitcoin is going to have another substantial pullback. Whether it's only 60% or 65 or 70%, it's going to have a massive pullback. So if you manage to walk away with let's say you own 5 Bitcoin at $110,000, you walk away with $500,000, you can kind of sit around and be patient and maybe invest half of that again once we bottom out in the $30,000, $40,000 range, whenever the hell we bottom, okay? So just keep that perspective. You're not going to be able to pick a top. That's not how this works. And that's not how your success is defined. Yeah, DCF, to your point, well, first off, look, I'll be realistic. Unless I start to publish more videos, the way that my subscriber base has grown the most is by publishing videos. My passion has just not been there to, being honest, my passion has not been there to create published videos. As we move along, I have had some ideas about publishing a couple videos, and I will get to them eventually. my greatest passion lies in doing these live streams, interacting with you, taking questions. That's really where I get my enjoyment from doing this. You know, I don't have to, this YouTube thing I do, I don't have to do for, I make more than enough money with my occupation. I don't need to do this for revenue. It's nice to get a little revenue, but I don't need to do it. And so to that point, I'm not anticipating my channel growing realistically by a substantial amount even next year if I continue doing the format I'm doing. I recognize that. I would have to change things up. So even getting 300 or 400 or 1,000 viewers, probably not happening unless my channel does a 10x. Unless I go from 35, or how many subscribers do I have? 33? I think I only have 33. Yeah, 3369 last time I checked. So we'll call it 3370, right? So unless I'm at 33,000 subscribers, I don't see that happening. But who knows? You never know. My channel could catch like wildfire all of a sudden when I dress up like Macho Man Randy Savage and start talking about the market going crazy. You never know. Most of you don't know anything I'm talking about because you haven't been here long enough. I think that's going to do it. Tomorrow is Friday. Typically, I don't live stream on Fridays. I'm not anticipating live streaming tomorrow. The only way I would see myself live streaming tomorrow is if something... track is up to 73. The only reason I would see myself live streaming tomorrow is if we get some monumental price action within the market. The other thing I keep reminding you guys of is keep an eye on the bell icon notifications, because I'm fully anticipating this month, next month, there are going to be some exciting weekends and weekend closes that I'm just going to randomly go live on a Sunday at 7 o'clock for Eastern time. So make sure that you click that bell icon to know if I go live. If we get some sort of crazy price action this weekend and Bitcoin's pushing up towards $80,000, I guarantee you I'll be live streaming. So make sure you have the bell icon on notice. So until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness. Let's carry the education forward. Take care.